Seven Nation Army couldn't hold me back.
Welcome to the Heat versus the World podcast. And now, stand up and make some noise for your host, Joe Jacob.
Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome everyone here to what's a very sad episode of Heat vs. the World. As you guys know, on Tuesday last week, God had to call the Miami Heat to the great above, and today we are here to just celebrate the life of the Miami Heat. We're not here to mourn anymore, because we know the Miami Heat, they are no longer suffering. They are in the great above. For in Revelations 21 verse 4, it says, "He will wipe every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death, or mourning, or crying, or pain. For the old order of things has passed away." So, dear children of God, while we are all sad that there will be no Heat basketball in the month of April, we can be grateful for the fact that the suffering is over and that the Miami Heat are no longer in pain. I know everyone has some words they like to say, so I first started off with Kay. The mic is yours, man. Is there anything you'd like to share to the grieving family today as they overcome this loss? Oh, they made me do this. I mean, I know you grieving, bro. I know you got a lot. Is there anything that you want to share? Any pain that's in your mind that you want to let loose?
You know, I got drunk before I came to this funeral. Y'all know y'all shouldn't have let me get this microphone and get on this pew. I didn't want to be here. I didn't like the idea of a funeral, no way.
Oh,
what are we mourning? I wanted the team to win. You other three, anyway.
What, we're mourning because we sad? We ain't mourning because we happy, bro. Like we
Are you sad?
Yes, I said
this is the best I've ever seen you dressed.
What? Listen, I said I was on the last pod, bro. Everyone got their way of mourning a loss, bro. So I'm sad, bro. So that's why I'm here.
Move on, man. I'm going to the back parking lot to finish my liquor.
All right, Coach, how about you, man? How are you feeling right now?
Lil, it's gone too soon, man.
And another.
Come on. Everyone will have their chance to share their condolences, y'all, one at a time. I know this loss pains all of us, bro. You got any more to say, Alex? Mm-hmm.
First, give my honor to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, who is the head of my life. I just want to say that this is painful, but I know the night is darkest before the dawn.
Amen.
So I mean, it's been a rough go of it this year. We had some ups, had some downs. Ended up in the ground. And now we just got to hope and pray that the Lord shines upon us going forward with the draft lottery and moves that can be made.
That's right.
But thank God they lost. Thank God they lost.
Amen. Tears will wash away the sorrow, man. We gonna be all right. And
I'm sorry, guys. I need a minute. I'm sorry.
It's good, bro. It's good. We here to mourn. Deem, how about you, though?
Well, it ain't no morning for me. I'm doing pretty good. I'm in high spirits. Despite the circumstance, I'm pretty happy.
I mean, that's what's up. You know what? Because there's no more suffering, right? Can I get an amen on that?
Amen, brother.
Amen.
Dean, you Muslim. You ain't supposed to say that.
that being said, we are not here to suffer anymore, but to share great memories that have come from this Heat team. So, as we all know, the Miami Heat season came to an end last Tuesday, in what was definitely a painful season, a year that we probably don't want to remember. But with that being said, I do want to know what's
Joe,
on.
when's the last time you did a Heat versus the World podcast? I'm sorry, I just when's the last time
A
we
brother
did?
got some stuff to handle behind the scenes. Y'all don't know what I be doing behind the scenes, bro.
I understand that you don't look like what you've been through, but you had the audacity to put on your good suit
I'm trying to
and
pay.
to come put no. I'm adding pauses because you wanted it to be churchy, and damn it, it's gonna be churchy. Cuss monitor me at 5:59, 6 minutes. You put on your best suit to make a return to pod to later Heat direct. Boy, I tell you, go on with your little pod, Joe.
Thank you. Thank you. So I want to know, y'all, as we say goodbye to the Heat and we see how the season went and how everything ended, what's on y'all's mind as we look to process this type of loss? So we'll start off with you, Alex.
Um, as you can see, my name says change gonna come, and I feel like that's what the point of what we've gotten to now, man. I mean, it's just gotten to a certain point where enough is enough. Sick and tired of being sick and tired. Sick and tired of being in the play-in. Sick and tired of everybody mocking Heat culture. Like we ain't like we want the bullies. Like we used to be the bullies. Now everybody just laughing at us, man. It's change gonna come, man. And I'm excited to see what we do this upcoming summer. But yeah, dog, it's just been rough, man. It's been rough. Okay, what you got to say, brother? You look like you got something on your mind.
Yeah.
Listen, man. First of all, shout out to Trip Ball. That's the first thing I want to say. Um, it was always going to be an uphill battle, but when the man pulled a rug from up under our best player, that made it an even further uphill battle.
Flagrant.
You know, to end the season that way, yes, flagrant, very flagrant. To end the season that way, um, nobody wanted to be in the play-in, but to make it to the play-in and then to end the season fighting a hard fought down to the wire. Excuse me, I burped because I got indigestion from having to do this show. But a down to the wire game without your best player being on the floor, especially the way that it happened, it hurt. And then to have to come and do this, to throw dirt on the corpse of my Miami Heat, it hurts even more. But I'm here because I'm a team player, and I'm gonna say this: changes have to be made. Maybe it's too hot for a guy like Tyler in Miami. Maybe his body's used to the cold. He's from Milwaukee, played in Kentucky. I mean, he didn't have those injury problems. Maybe the moisture, the humidity, maybe the heat just isn't good for his body. The boy can play. I just don't see it with the Miami Heat. I'm gonna just bury all sorts of leads. This show was the spit in my face, so I'm just gonna go all over the place. If you can get Giannis for cheap, you go get him. If the deal is right with Kawhi, you take a chance, but you don't give him a whole bunch of money either, because hell, he can't stay on the floor either. I mean, but he is Kawhi.
56 million next year.
I know that's a whole lot of money, but I'm willing to say the Miami Heat are like 30 million under the luxury tax right now, and that's with Tyler money on the books. So, and that's with the rest of the money on the books. So, if you go to trading and flipping and swapping, you got to also include that money. So, if we just looking at Tyler alone, using him as a chip to go get somebody, that's 60 million theoretically. You know what I'm saying? With Tyler 30 and then the 30 that we got. Now, not that you want to use all of that, on one dude. But again, it's so many
Do you think?
Kawhi.
But do you think is worth getting Kawhi
I don't.
at this point in his career? Like at this point of his career, at 35, 36, however old he is, you think like I don't think it's worth it.
No, I don't think it's worth it either. But we also got to operate on the reality of what we know about the Miami Heat, and that's that they're going to avoid a complete teardown. And I almost want them to go do something that the fans deem worthy and drastic. Um, and I'm not going to say I don't know. I just want them to go do something to almost satisfy the fans in the uproar and to let the chips fall where they may, and then to see what happens after that because it seems no matter what this Miami Heat team has done or has not done, for better or worse. And I give you an example. Throughout the Jimmy Butler era, we heard all about the guys that they could have got and the guys that they weren't willing to move to go get those guys. But let's say they had it did it and it didn't work. Um, then what would people have said? Because then they would have traded all their assets, but still left with a situation that was untenable. So now I'm almost at a point where I'm like, yo, just go do it and then let people live with the results. You as a team included, because the thing we're speaking about, I think there's been a disdain, a loss of appreciation for. And again, I'm not being a bootlick. I want them to do better, yada yada yada. But I think that the way that in this wild west of a league with Desmond Bain to go for 13 first round picks, 2 pick swaps, 62 seconds, and 3 free play tickets in the back of the alley, I think that we've gotten too accustomed to a team emptying their treasure chest and don't appreciate the fact that the Miami Heat want to be more efficient. They want to get deals done, not necessarily for less, but at a fair market value. They don't want to get fleeced. They want to do the fleecing. And I think there's been a loss of appreciation for that. Um, while you see other teams do it a different way, almost have shiny new toys and trinkets.
Right, and I mean, I agree. Just to add on real quick, because like, because I've been one of the main people who will give the Heat, their, lashings or whatever you want to call it.
Oh, you've been talking trash about Pat Riley for 15
Whoa,
months.
listen, bro.
Oh my God. If you could have rode to the Bay in Jimmy Butler's luggage, you would have been right there alongside Ernie, slithering across the first class flight floor all
Listen,
the
bro.
way to second class because you
Listen,
can't
bro.
be
I'm
sitting up there
still
with Jimmy.
here. All these
I'm
pods
sick of your
later,
Joe.
bro.
I'm sick of it.
I'm still here. All these pods later, bro.
Oh, what pause later, Joe? The people ain't seeing you in 276 days.
Whoa, not true. I was here last month when Bam had 83. That's not fair.
Right. You was here when Bam had 83 and when we interviewed the great Mike B. Other than
Yeah.
that, they ain't seen you. You
Well,
we want with us shooting in the gym. Boy,
listen, man. What y'all want me
I'm gonna
to
have to go to
do?
Walmart and sit on that little machine and tighten up around your arm. I can see that now.
Listen, man.
I mean, to K's point though, right? I think at times though, like you got to take that risk, and like let's just forget the point to where though we got to make the fans happy. Let's pull off the right trades. Like, who cares if the trade is like we look at a trade like we're not happy with this trade, but if it works, damn it, it works. The thing is, Miami Heat got to have some type of guts, and I feel like they lost those guts that they used to have. Like for instance, sometimes you got to take that risk. If a certain player who's going for 3 first round picks, and we looking at the board and we looking like, damn, he might not be worth 3 first round picks, but do we think this said player can get us over the hump?
I mean,
Let's
I
go back and let's talk to our guys. Let's talk to our coaching staff, and let's put this together and let's see if he's worth these giving up these 3 first round picks. Like at the end of the day, when you're right there, and during that Jimmy Butler era, Miami was right there every season but one. They were right there, knocking on the door of winning the fourth championship. So when you're right there, sometimes you got to go all, and you got to just take that risk.
I
Like
was
like
gonna
you
ask you
you,
for some
you,
And
you
more
got to take that
clarity as
risk.
far as a guy, but you made it clear. Okay, I feel you in the Jimmy era. You right.
yeah, and I'm about to say, and going off of what Dean just said, like that was one of the things that I used to always harp on in the Jimmy era. Like I used to talk about the fact that I felt like if they couldn't get somebody who was better than the Jimmy, then they needed somebody who was close, who was literally just right around the area of like how Jimmy played. Like in my opinion, obviously we didn't go get Brad Beal. They didn't go get Brad because of the
Good
no
move.
trade clause stuff, huh?
And I'm not mad at that. I'm
Good
not mad they
move.
didn't get Brad Bill, and I
And
said
but
that. I wasn't mad at that.
and I'm looking at it like this. Brad at that time probably would have costed us because Brad got traded to the Suns for Chris Paul, like 2 seconds, and like somebody else. We could have got Brad Beal for Kyle Lowry, probably Duncan Robinson, and 2 second-round picks. You do
I
that,
would.
man. You
I,
just
I I
do it.
hear you. I hear you,
You
bro.
do
But
it.
go
You got to do it.
go look at the Suns' pay table right now. Ain't the Sun how much the Suns paying him this year?
Kyle Lowry was
Well, I mean,
viable
they still
his
like. I mean, they
first year in
bought him out and they
Miami.
still had to pay him or whatever. But like, I'm looking at it like the Suns with them having KD, Book, and Brad. All of those guys have the same, dang near the same exact shot profile. So it's never going to work. The shots that Brad was going to take and make with Jimmy and Bam, that would have been a totally different. Like that would have fit way better than those three mid-range assassins. Like Brad would have been able to fit better with Jimmy and Bam than he did with those two guys in Phoenix. That's just
I
me.
agree. I agree.
I go like, yo, like I'm going to get the dude.
But
I'm
I would
going to get him.
just to add on real quick, not to like move away from Brad Beal because I did want him at one point. But I also do want to mention some of the other names because another guy that I know a lot of Heat fans wanted me to. Deem, I know you had to reach out to my Instagram to see, if you could get him here to Miami. Unfortunately, I don't know if he saw the DMs. But shout outs to him, and that's none other than Donovan Mitchell. That was the dude I wanted here, and I'll never forget. I'm pretty sure y'all probably know what I'm referring to. But at one point, you had Barry Jackson himself who put
Coco
out.
Jones? Are you referring to Coco Jones?
Uh, listen, bro. You mean wait? Say that again.
Are you referring to Coco Jones? I mean, I don't know. You said Donovan Mitchell, and my mind just immediately went to Coco Jones. I didn't know what you was referring to.
Oh yeah, I'm talking about Donovan Mitchell. The fact that I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I seen a report where it was like, not a report, but still the fact that Barry Jackson himself tweeted that he could have gave up. Someone told him that you thought 3 first-round picks and Tyler Hero was too much for Donovan Mitchell, and it led to Barry Jackson saying that he thought so too. Right? Y'all know what I'm referring to. Y'all saw that?
Yeah, yeah, I remember that. And Miami Heat was totally wrong. I
And
I
I
think
don't
I think Tyler Hero on 3 first-round picks was perfect for Donovan Mitchell. Seeing how Donovan Mitchell performed in the playoffs and how close Miami Heat be right there knocking on the door. I don't know, man. I think it was perfect. I just think it was perfect. And
D Mitch
still, I still want. Hopefully, they can pull up getting Donovan Mitchell if he ever becomes available again.
D Mitch would have been perfect, but
But he'd been
they
perfect for
they
this offense.
they called the Jazz and Danny Ainge asked for Bam. So
I don't know.
I
yes,
mean, yeah. I mean, if
Danny
that's
Ainge asked,
true, if
Danny
that's
Ainge
true,
asked for
then
Bam. Like that was why
yeah,
it didn't get done. He asked for Bam. Like
yeah. I mean,
they were to sit Tyler in the picks. He was like, I don't want that. I want Bam out of bio. And Pat hung up the phone.
I would have hung up the phone too.
Exactly. So like that's just what it is.
But like, think about it though. To that point, we also got to be real, and this also be my problem. This be my damn problem. How often is something like that happening to Miami? Because we often sit around
Hold on. Like what? Like what do you mean?
That
Like
on
like some
him.
like some dumb stuff, dog. What did Cronin end up taking compared to what he was asking of Miami? Like what did it? I'm sure that they kicked the tires on Bradley Beal. What did they initially ask from Miami as opposed to what they eventually got? Like, I mean, we gotta also imagine that they trying, but like a lot of these deals they end up being stupid, and like what we end up hearing is that wasn't the ask of Miami.
There's always a heat tax, bro. There's all
what
if
was
we
the
come
what was the I'm sorry, but what was the Dame offer? Like I'm not. I don't know what
we
that
was
I know
offer
offered
that
was.
they wanted something crazy from us compared to what they got. I can't remember the specifics
like
though.
shoot, I think we offered like Tyler. Think Caleb was gonna get rerouted in the deal.
Kyle too. Yeah.
Yeah, Kyle was on the way out. Freaking like I think Jaime was on the way out. Jovic was on the way out, and like I think like at least 2, maybe 3 picks in a pick swap or something like that. But obviously, I mean, they ended up trading him for what they get. They got, I mean, in the grand scheme, it was like they got Drew Holiday, but then they flipped Drew Holiday and just got like Malcolm Brogdon and Rob Will.
And Rob Williams is like the ninth man, and Malcolm Brogdon ain't in the league no more.
I say, yeah,
Robin,
Malcolm.
they did turn into Denny of Dia though, just to like throw in there. But
They did do that.
Well, this is true.
They did do that.
This is true. But that was at a point where they were taking a swing on Denny.
that's true.
Like,
Yeah,
Denny was
I'm not
like
defending-
Washington thought they won that deal because they had gave up on Denny.
right. Because I just want to say I'm not like defending on Portland by any means, but I do want to acknowledge that. And then they also got what's the guy that Phoenix gave in the deal?
Tumani Kamara.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think
Oh,
he
he's
made
tough.
And he
The
decent.
the power forward guy. Well, I don't know if he's
Yeah.
a power forward, but
He'll
but
wing.
he-
He'll
yeah,
wing.
he-
He
yeah,
guard
he's
the
tough.
threes for us.
he's tough. I like him.
Yeah.
He's tough.
No, he's a great defensive player, great utility guy, developing as a jump shooter. Like, no, Tumani a baller. I ain't gonna hold you. Like,
Right.
he a baller, but comparative to what you mentioned, you know, that they were asking of the Miami Heat out. Yes, okay. We watched Nikola Victim Jovic. But you know, potential before this season. You think about Jaime, you think about the multitude of picks, you thinking about the cap relief or the expiring situations that you're gonna get as a reroute of Caleb and as a reroute of Kyle. It's just at the end of the day, I understand all of that, but considering the fact that the Wizards thought they won that Brogdon Denny switch, it's like, no, they absolutely didn't send a better package at the time. And looking back on it, you can challenge and say because of Denny, whatever, and Tumani, like I said, he's really good. You can be like, it's pretty equitable. The Blazers package ended up being a little bit better. At the time, it wasn't, though. And with the first round picks that they could have got, I still don't think it's apples to apples, because I'll argue you this. Maybe not to the level of Denny, but if you gave Jaime the keys to an offense like that, he could put up similar numbers.
Nah, I doubt it.
Jaime put up pretty okay. The three ball is developing. Denny is in what, year 7, 8?
Not sure. I don't know. Year 8, I don't think so for sure.
I mean, Denny, shoot, bro. Denny, what, 25, 26? Came into the league at like 18, 19? All I'm saying
This is year 6 for Denny.
Okay, so Jaime is on year 3.
Yeah.
So Jaime 3 years younger than Denny. So in 3 years from now,
They
Jaime
might be the same age. You know, Jaime old.
Yeah. This is
But see, if you ask Jaime to score as much as Danny, then that becomes a problem because
they the same- I
it's
just looked, they the
it's
same
taken
age.
away from the rest of Jaime's game. So I wouldn't even want Jaime to score that many points, take that
I
many shots, because
agree.
then
I agree.
I'm taking away the defensive aspect, and I'm not saying he's a great playmaker, but he's pretty cool with the rock in his hand. Like, I trust him with the ball in his hand more than Tyler. So I mean, I wouldn't want him to take
He's
that
smarter.
many shots. Yeah.
Well, no, and I agree with you. I'm just saying, like, okay, I put it to you like this. For that Blazers team, let's say they didn't have a Denny and they had did the Jaime swap, I think they would have tried to play Jaime a similar way, because even with Denny, they use him as a big point guard, but that's only because it's sort of it's a positive Norm Powell effect. And I say it like this, listen, hear me out. We all know Norm only passes as a result of him not having a good look. Like, if he can't get his good look or he end up getting crossed, then he'll try to drop it off or pass it to make a play. Well, it's the same thing Denny do. Denny just a little bit better at it.
I mean, I wanted to go dive in too much into it though, but like, I don't know. Does anyone have something they want to add before we go deeper into it?
That's crazy. I don't know what we're going deeper into, but you better
Oh.
warn me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Pause on me. But
yeah.
Listen, bro. But listen. Overall, all these tragedies aside, now it kind of puts us into a situation where
Tragedy. Come on, man. You gotta stop using that language, man. You finally won me back over. I'm in a decent headspace after you started the show on that bush, and now you're gonna bring it back to tragedy. Come on, man. Upbeat, positive. Rip that suit jacket off. I know you ain't got no sleeves on that church shirt.
Okay, but listen, going into, so I'll be more upbeat. So in case more potential oh no situations happen, I do want to ask, because we going into the summer. I did see an interesting quote that came out from Heat legend himself, Mario Chalmers, and he suggested the possibility of having a certain someone named Patrick Riley potentially just stepping down from the Miami Heat to let them do what they gotta do, right? And I'm not going to say if I agree or disagree with that statement, but overall, it does lead me to another question where it's, do we think about personnel changes? And what I mean by personnel changes, I'm not talking about anyone from the front office specifically. I'm talking anyone. So we talk about just, the FO, and we talk about, the team as well, the players. Who the frick do we think has to leave in order to get back onto the right track? Dean, is there anyone you trying to pack up and send elsewhere, or just
Before
send it
you
to
before you
retirement?
do that, name, I just got to call Joe. He said that's Mr. Riley to you.
Oh,
Yeah, I go. And the crazy thing, I think, man, we're going to talk about this a lot in the off season. I think we can do a whole pod on this actually. But if you asking me personally, I agree with Mario said, man. And I gotta get this out, man. I love Mario, man. He one of my favorite Heat players of all time. I love Mario, so it's hard for me to go against Mario, man. He's one of my favorite players of all time from Miami. But anyway, yeah, I do agree with him. I think it's time to get the fake Armani suit wearing guy. I think it's time for him to go. I think like the game has passed him by. No matter, I mean, he's a legend. You can't take that from him. He's one of the great, not one of the greatest basketball minds, but he's one of the greatest sports executive of all time. I mean, and we see what happened when guys stay longer than they like. It starts to become a bad thing for them. I think in these last probably like 4 or 5 years, Pat Riley has become a target for Heat fans. I think probably 60% of the Heat fans wants him gone, and I think it's time for a change. I think it's time for a change. He's still going to be a legend. He's an all-time great head coach, probably top five all time. He's a top five all-time NBA exec, but I think it's time for him to take a step back. If you go back and look at the probably outside of the Jimmy Butler trade, his last moves the past 10 years been horrible. I think Jimmy Butler single-handedly saved the Miami Heat organization with him and Coach Spo.
That man called the suits fake. Dean must think gas too high for them black trucks to slide all the way up to Philly.
Yeah, listen, man. Yeah, it's definitely too high. Gas about $5 right now in Miami.
I mean, he's saving money on his suits according to you, so he got it.
Yeah, them fake Armani suits. It's time to roll. It's time to roll. He got to go.
Just to go off of what Deem's saying.
To go off of what Dean, you gonna co-sign that? Boy,
No,
you
I'm
crazy.
not. No, I'm not.
I ain't say nothing, Mr. Riley. No, I'm
No,
joking. I'm just
no, I'm not co-signing because of the fact that like I always listen to a bunch of different pods and they talk about the fact, or like Ethan Skolnick, he talk about the fact that um Pat hasn't had final say since 2011. Since 2011, it's been like a brain trust of like six of the guys in the front office. I think it's Spo, Adam Simon, Andy, Pat, and Alonzo, and then the guy who does have final say is Nick Arison. So it's like I understand where people are coming from in regards to saying, yo, like Pat gotta go, because he's pushed out as the face when they want something to get out from the Heat. Pat is the one that they basically lead to slaughter, and they're just like, all right, you're the one who has to say this. But I mean, in the past, he was that guy. He was the one who was having final say on everything. But that has changed, and with that changing, and with how the times have changed, I really honestly believe that they need to go get somebody that has nothing to do with the Heat, that is outside of the Heat organization, to come in and shake stuff up, to do stuff that those guys in the organization who have been built up and like taking different roles and all that, those guys literally just do the same thing. Like they're a hive mind almost. They're a hive mind with different points of view. They need somebody who's going to come in who ain't a part of the hive mind to shake it up to really bring it into the modern era, in my opinion.
All right,
While
wait.
while I let me and I'm gonna let you get that off, Dame. But
Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
I agree with you. I agree with what both of y'all said. You know what? No, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say I agree. I think the Rouse still could get the job done. However, would I be mad if they did something different? It would be sentimental because, like, you know what I'm saying, we know how much Pat Riley has been to the Miami Heat. It would be sentimentally hurtful, but if they brought another person in they thought was capable, I mean, I wouldn't be mad. However, to your point, Alex, I don't care who they bring in because of what we know. And this is what I say about the Miami Heat. Like, we can't treat them like every other team. Like, we got to be real and live in reality about the way and how in which they go about operating. No matter who they bring in, because as you spoke, it's been a brain trust approach for the last 10, 15 years. Whoever come in there, honestly, unless it's Spo, gonna probably have less power on their word than Pat.
Not if you bring in the right person, though. That's
But
what I.
why? But that's the point, though, Alex. Why would they do that? We gotta live in reality.
All
I
right, so the-
just
I'll say I don't know if I even believe the report that Pat hasn't been having like the strong last say so in the past 10 or 15 years. I'm gonna call cap on that. That's just my belief. I don't know the truth or not. I just don't believe that.
Fair
And
enough.
and the thing
that's
is,
coming, that's
this
coming
this
from a Heat insider, dog.
this
You know,
is
you
this is
hear it every
yeah.
day.
But I mean, a lot of those like the name that you said. I mean, a lot of things he said the past 2 years came out to be capped on his platform. But that's neither here nor there. I'm not gonna get into all that. But and this is one of the main reasons why I think Pat should step down. It's for one, how hard is it going to be when they show Pat Riley on the screen inside the Heat arena, sitting next to Alonzo Mourning, and fans start to boo? You know how hard that's going to be. Like it's that's going to be like wow, like we're booing a legend inside of his home arena because fans are being frustrated on
How far do you
how
think
the
we are
team's
from
been
that,
on a
though?
run.
Yeah, because I feel like not to interrupt you, Deem. Just to quickly
No, I
add,
really want to know, though. Yeah, that was a real question. Let him
Sachin,
What?
continue.
I didn't even hear you. Can you say that again, bro?
How far you think we are from them seeing him on the screen in the arena and booing?
If you get another if you get another year like you had this year, I think you'll get it this year. Like with no moves being made again, I think you'll get it this year.
And
I
them
mean,
struggling to be 500 play in territory towards the end of the year, you think it'll happen?
oh, absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
I think the motion might go a little slower just because, like, I don't know. I feel like right now, what I see the fans, because you see, they still show up to the games. I saw a graphic where they're like the second highest attending team last year. I mean, this year actually, and I mean that was even when we were the 10 seed. That was even after we made zero moves, in the trade deadline. A lot of things which, if you see on social media, irked a lot of fans. So I do believe it could get to that point. I just feel like it's kind of like a slow burn where it might take a little while just to get there. So I wouldn't know if it would happen next season if the Heat were to, knock on wood, not make anything happen. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely a possibility. I think it would be a very long time though until we see things get to that range. Because I don't know, from me, like what we're seeing in real life, that is like I'm talking about like actual IRL as people call it. That's different from what I think what we see in the usual social media banter. So because of that, I do have to take that into consideration when I say that I don't know if it would necessarily like result to that just yet. But that's just me. I don't know.
I got a question for y'all. Like, quick question. Since the
Mhm.
past 2 years, how many times have y'all ever heard any Heat fan call for Pat Riley job?
A lot.
I have never heard not one time someone say Pat Riley should be fired. Never until recently. I never heard that.
I've seen a bunch of Pat need to step down. You got
Yeah,
and
I've
it's,
seen a whole
When
lot of
I
fire
mean
I
Pat.
say
since
a
when?
lot,
Like starting when?
starting
I've
like
seen about.
what like last like going
I was
when
about to say, maybe about 2.5 years.
how about to
Uh,
say like
Me a
they were
while.
okay, so but no, that's what I just said. Like, so that's the time frame I'm talking about before then. Like, even before the Jimmy Butler era. when the team was in the same spot they in now. I have
No,
never
but
heard anyone say, "Yo, Pat need to go."
yeah, but now he's 80 years old now, so it's like one of the, and that's another thing that I forgot to mention earlier. Like he with a certain age group, he had a certain aura and a certain pull. He doesn't have that anymore. Nobody like these guys who are in the league now.
Yep.
Most of these guys weren't born. Well, yeah, they weren't around and born in the '80s, and to see what he did with the Showtime Lakers, to see what he
So they don't
did
know the
with
greatness of
with
Pat
the
Riley
Knicks.
in that
Yeah,
Yeah,
case.
half
yeah,
half of these guys don't know who Pat Riley is, so they don't
exactly.
care. They don't want to hear about. Oh, I got to get body fat. I can't eat cookies, or they don't want to hear that crap. A lot of these guys don't even watch They don't even watch basketball. They want to go home and build Legos after practice and get on stream and go to the studio and rap. Like they don't know Pat Riley. They don't care about what he's done and the legendary he is.
Going off of what you just said, like that's the issue. That's why it's just like a all right. Like even if it's to a point where so Pat is team president, if they want to still just keep giving him money, just keep giving the man money. Let Eric Spoelstra be team president and head coach. Other people have done it. Freaking Stan Van Gundy was president and head coach in Detroit. Uh, freaking Tibbs was team president and head
Doc
coach in
Doc
multiple
was the
places.
Clippers too.
I'm about to say Doc did it. Like yo, like let give Spo the opportunity to be the head coach and the team president, and watch the aura that Spo has. Watch
I
what
wouldn't mind
happens.
that. I
I said,
wouldn't
watch
mind
what
that.
happens. Watch what happens. That's
But and listen, so we could talk about this all day, but we got a full summer to look forward to. And before we wrap things up, I mean, y'all mentioned some good points, but right now, as we get ready to enjoy this off season, look into the as we get ready to enjoy this postseason, then really dive into the off season. I do want
I'm
to.
not going to enjoy the postseason or the offseason. Move on.
Okay. I mean, that's fair too. But overall, man, like, what's y'all bold prediction? Just give me one each. What y'all think we're gonna see go down? It could be anything, off-season move, potential switch in the front office, potential whatever. Just name one bold prediction going into the summer, even though we're still about 2 months away from it. We'll start off with you, Kay.
Tyler Hero will not be on the Miami Heat's roster next year.
I mean, listen, bro, I'm not gonna say much because I feel like I've ranted so much about bro in the past, but whatever happens with him. I feel like whenever I talk about him potentially leaving, there's a bit of a jinx with it. So I'm just gonna say no comment.
Let me clarify. By the trade deadline of next year, Tyler Hero will no longer be on the Miami Heat's roster.
That's bad, man. That's bad.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, that's a little too late for me.
Well,
But
I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
I know.
yeah.
I'm just saying, I want to trade him in the offseason, but we know again,
yeah,
it's a very. Here's the thing: if Giannis wants to drag it out, they're gonna
You
say
gotta
about
move
him.
on. If Giannis want to drag it out, you gotta move
they
on.
not
You gotta pivot.
they. I would say I don't think they're gonna drag it out. Like they've been dragging it out. I've seen everything saying that when the offseason starts, they're gonna be like, hey yo, are you signing with us in October or not? We need an answer right now.
yeah, I
And
think
he gonna say yes, I'm signing or no, I'm not. And once
right.
he do that, then they all right, you not signing, boom, all right, Giannis is back available for trade. Let's see what we can get. And so I feel like Giannis, well, I'm sorry to take over what Kay was saying. But Giannis is the first domino, then other stuff is gonna happen off of that, most likely.
Right. And I mean, Alex, what's your big prediction going into this summer?
Um, my big prediction, I feel like it like the Heat are gonna end up with somebody that we view as all right, this is the number one option. It might not be who everybody wants, but they're going to end up with somebody where it's going to be clear cut. That is the number one guy. This is the guy who's going to get, if we need a shot taken or a play made, this is the guy we're going to get the ball to. They're going to end up with one of those.
So let me ask you this. So, because it could be anyone specifically. What's the lowest ceiling player you think this could be? Like caliber, in other words. Does that make sense?
Lowest ceiling is John Morant.
Okay, I was thinking Ja for a second when you said that, so that's a possibility. And Deem, how about you?
Yeah, coach. I thought you was describing me there, man. I ain't know who you was talking about, man. Well, my prediction is I don't think the Miami Heat make a move this offseason. That's my bold prediction. I don't think they make a move. I think they stay the same. I
I mean,
think fans gonna be
Take it
surprised.
back.
Like,
Take it back. Take it back
nah,
now. You see what it says? It says change gon' come. Well, hold up, wait. Change gon' come. Take it back now.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hurt your feelings, bro, but I don't see it. I don't think nothing's gonna change. They're gonna strike out again on every player they want. I think Norman Powell, he might just walk. I don't know if it, do you got a player option? Norman Powell have a player option, or
Nah, this was it.
Nah,
this
yeah,
was
I
it?
mean,
Yeah. Well, he's gone.
they can still extend them, which to me, honestly, that it's gonna be an interesting conversation. Obviously, he didn't like how his role changed going
I
down
wouldn't
the
either.
huh?
If I was him, I wouldn't either.
But I look at it like this: the way that Norm ends up back on the team is if they make the trade and get Giannis before the draft, then Norm is going to be on the team next year. Norm will be a member of the Miami Heat if Tyler Hero and Khalil Ware and whatever else gets traded by the NBA draft. Norm will still be on the team. But if it goes after that,
I think that how they handle it. I think how they handle it tells us all we need to know. If they re-sign Norm for whatever reason, then they're trying to move Tyler.
Yeah, because I mean, if we would have done the deal at the trade deadline and got Giannis, Tyler and Khalil were headlining the deal. Norm would have got an extension right off that. If we would have got Giannis, Norm would have got his at least 2, maybe 3-year extension. He would have got an extension right then. But it didn't happen. So that's why we are where we are.
that's fair. So overall, man, we got a lot of off-season predictions, and we'll have some time to really tap into it. We still got the postseason to look into, see what happens there. But overall, man, I know we all sad because the Heat season is over, but it's okay because, like I said, they are no longer suffering. So let us be happy for the memories we had, whatever there was. And overall, we're going to have some fun going into the off season. You know, we're going to have some great episodes ahead of y'all very soon. Maybe some new faces too. So be on the lookout for that. But overall, y'all, we going to have some fun. You know, the season's over. We going to get it done right. And listen, man, take a deep breath. Hopefully, we going to get this stuff figured out. So make sure y'all keep tuning in. Make sure y'all keep listening to what we got to say because it's going to be a fun summer ahead of us.
Also, we're going to drop some episodes.
I mean, listen, bro, nobody's suffering no more, so we ain't got to worry about that stuff. But make sure y'all follow K on Twitter at K_said_kid. Alex on Twitter at _Coach Lewis 1, Deem at BL Deem, me at Joel K Jacob _, and Heat vs. the World on all platforms at HVTW Podcast. And man, we got some great episodes coming soon, so be on the lookout. And shout outs to Mike B, by the way. We recently dropped that new episode celebrating Michael Biamonte, so make sure y'all check that out if you haven't.
The most positive thing Joel has said about the Miami Heat in 16 calendar months.
Well, listen, man. I mean, we gotta be happy about something, right? We gonna embrace the good times. So overall, man, make sure y'all go check that out. And aside from that, guys, deep breaths. We'll see what the Heat does. I don't know what they will do because I've been doing this pod for 5 years. I've been through the heartbreaks. Y'all have seen me, cry on this very pod. So I don't know if we get a sequel of that. We'll find out. But regardless, y'all, we're going to have a good time regardless. So thank y'all for lending y'all ear to the sound. This ain't the Biscayne Breakdown, but hit my music because we out.
Behind my back.
Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time with a brand new episode of the Heat versus the World podcast.